Something new every time.
Dust. In today's video, we're going to go through and turn this old porch into a new design going off of pallets. And I've been looking around at a variety of different preliminary ideas and different things that I was coming up with, and didn't like a lot of them, so we're going to go through and kind of meld a few of them together and kind of put my own spin on it a bit. So hopefully you enjoy it, and we'll turn this into this. So as it sits right now, this is the $70 porch. I'm going to add on to it here in a little bit, but this is what we're going to be going through and building today. So hopefully you enjoy. So if you can believe it, it's all gone. We went through, and as you saw in the little clip there, leveled out a bunch of variety of bricks on each of the pertaining joints for the deck, or future deck, soon to be. I've got pallets and pallets galore still, but we're going to go through and one by one start laying out the pallets. Got one started, and I'm gonna finish that up, start laying them down. Get at least 3 to 4 done in this little jaunt, and we'll keep going from there and then extend over to there. Get that one started here, hopefully pretty quickly. We'll see exactly how much gusto I've got. I'm gonna be running on evening coffee, as it were, to power through, powerhouse this deck out. However the saying would be, I have no clue. But it's gonna be fun on the bun. Underway here a bit. Got one almost complete. Have another 2 lined out. And from advice, or some advice from the wifey, was to work smarter, not harder. So if I have access to 2 chop saws, might as well use both of them so I don't have to swap back and forth between my miters. So this is the little station set up, my little scrap bin. Current pile, it's not super straightened, but it was just kind of placed there and started to get used up for what is planed and ready to rock and roll. So here it sits in its $70 glory. I'm really happy with how the pattern turned out in it. So it's kind of a chevron, but not at the same time. It's a pattern square, if you will. And I just love all the varying colors of wood. So what makes this the $70 porch is that I have used only $30 worth of screws, and then about 30, actually no, 35. So let's say this is the $75, $76 porch, but $35 on the top coat that would go over it. So I plan on extending it out a half a pallet down. So 1, 2 half pallets, and then a third half pallet, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 more additional pallets to make it the same size, if not a little bigger, than the prior porch, which only ended right about here. So that's the original porch if I do one more row, but I'm going to add on the additional to fill the gap this time. And then eventually I'm going to go through, probably here in this week, and add another 6 pallets on this side, where you can already see that I've dropped the grade down. That's my workstation for the time being. But I just finished up the last 2 to make this size of porch, and then use the prior step that was on the very corner over there. So as it sits, like it says in the video description, it is the, we'll say, $75 porch, and all I'd have to do is go through and do end cap on it and then throw a coat on it. But each one of these is an individual pallet that has been skinned, and then as you can kind of see here, screws run in on each of the corners that could potentially raise up. And then we're going to be using a Valspar top coat, 1 coat. I think this one has a 4-year warranty on it, or 4-year guarantee rather, which even if it lasts for 2.5, 3 years, I'm stoked. That'd be about a good time for me to recoat anyway, re-sand and everything else. So I'm perfectly fine with that. A lot of the products I was looking at was every 6 months you'd have to reapply. So I'm going to give this one a shot. But I might have a little more leveling to do just to level up some of these cracks. They're just a little bit high. You kind of see there. So some dirt got under there probably. So it's leveled on bricks, so that way it's up out of the soil. And then I'm going to just mark around it. This is the same premise that I did for the shed. You can kind of see over there. It is almost there, and it is looking absolutely amazing. So this will be part 1, essentially, of part 2, I believe, will be the finisher. That'll be where I do the final row and the additional add-on porch, which is going to go around this tree that we have. It's a nice tree, so I'm going to see exactly, maybe what I'll do is we're going to redo and run this gutter to the left, drop it down to where it's maybe on the other side of the crawl space entrance, and then we're going to nix this side all together so that way no water is running on or underneath the porch whatsoever and causing any kind of sinking or issues at all like that. And we need to redo these gutters. They're original to the house and they're showing it for sure. But hopefully you enjoyed this little kind of snapshot of what's coming up and what is to be. It's all very solid, no issues, and it should be hopefully done here within the next week. We have family coming in on June 10th, so hopefully I have this all finished up. Hopefully part 2 will be out before then, and hopefully everyone is enjoying this little kind of segments, if you will, and it'll be fun. This is one of the main 3 things that I was wanting completed and taken care of as soon as we bought the property, and it's been, I think, 2020 now, and it was 4 years ago, so 2016 is when we got this. My wife will correct me for sure if I'm wrong on that. But hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure and hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see what the finished product for what I will actually be shooting for will look like, and please be sure and leave a comment below on what you think of it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully this will give you some inspiration and some ideas. And like I said, it only cost me 70 bucks. Technically all I had to do with it, I did use power tools. I had to use a drill, an impact to throw the screws in, of course, and then I did a light plane on the boards of the pallets after I processed them. So just kind of barely knocked down any of the outskirts of it, and then I went through with a gentle sand so that way I didn't drop any of my thickness, so the boards are still going to be pretty thick. And going through and doing multitudes of screws seems excessive, but I'm only at $70 so far. Like I said, if I went through and just did the top coat now, which it's the 1 gallon that I got of it, will do this easily. And I can kind of go through, I'll throw in the description a proper measurement of the size of this. I may even throw that in the title of this video as well. And you'll know exactly the size of this. It is only 8 individual pallets, which is awesome. They're kind of a standard, I think 36 by like 40 or so inch pallet, so not too bad. And I'll actually get a full proper measurement on that here in just a second for you. So thanks very much. Hopefully you enjoyed, and have yourself a good one.